Are you as frustrated as I am that males, boys and men, are being allowed to take away awards and opportunities from girls and women in sports? That girls are being sidelined in their own sports and put in harm's way? And that our own federal government is pushing this? When our society ignores biological reality, it's women and girls who suffer. Thankfully, my friends at Alliance Defending Freedom are standing for truth and challenging this destructive agenda in courts and legislatures nationwide. But they need your help. Join with ADF and be a champion for freedom. For just $19 a month, you can stand for women and girls and reality. Visit joinadf.com/B and pledge your monthly gift of $19 or more to ADF. That's just 63 cents a day to help protect women in sports from radical gender ideology. Go to joinadf.com/B and stand up for freedom with your monthly gift today.
The Babylon Bee Podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Babylon Bee Seldom. We're hanging out here with Travis, Jarret, Kyle, and Adam. So I went to the Switchfoot show last weekend.
Oh, nice. How was that?
At the
Great.
Wiltern.
I got this was their original band name, was Chin Up.
Oh, cool.
Up before
And is that
there
their
was-
original logo there?
Yeah.
That's a better name than Switchfoot.
Yeah, why did they change it?
Yeah, chin
I
up.
like it.
They were doing the Beautiful Letdown tour where they played the whole Beautiful Letdown album, their big album 20 years ago. But they said they had a special guest. So it was at the Wiltern in LA, and we went in, and the special guest was just them opening for themselves.
What?
So they opened as Chin Up.
Oh, okay.
The original 3 band members, and then John Foreman kept telling dad jokes about it. He's like, can't wait till Switchfoot comes on.
That's kind of
He
fun.
did it the whole time.
Now, do
and-
they have a different set? Is it different
It's like
songs
different songs
that they did?
literally.
Okay.
And then they're like, okay, well, here comes Switchfoot, and they left and changed, and they came out and were like, thanks so much to Chin Up for opening for. He really leaned into the bit and just kept telling jokes about it the whole night.
That's kind of
funny.
that makes me think of how Stephen King used to write as Richard Bachman. I think that's
Yes.
what it was.
Yeah, right.
But he would talk about Richard Bachman as like he's a real person.
Yeah.
And we know it's you, Stephen. Stop it.
Or like how Garth Brooks hosted SNL and the musical guest was Chris
Gaines.
Gaines.
Chris Gaines. I remember the Chris Gaines thing because his sweep. Yeah. And it was like
And
he had
little
the soul patch.
thing, Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a weird time. It was a weird time in his career.
I think it was
Was
a weird
that-
time in everyone's life.
Wasn't that the one? That was when they had the Satan sketch though
Yes,
on
where
SNL,
they're
which is
playing
my
guitar.
favorite sketch
It's a great
of all
sketch,
time.
Oh, yeah.
It's a really good
Yeah.
I
one.
think I know that
Devil Can't Write Any Love Songs.
Yeah.
Or Can't Write No Love Song. It's so good.
He was a
it's
good host, but I'm Chris Gaines, not the best
No,
musical guest.
what a strange like I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess when you have everything, you just do weird stuff.
Historians 1,000 years from now will analyze that.
I was traveling this week. I went down to West Palm Beach, Florida for the roast of our friend Brandon Strock, the founder of the Walk Away movement. He was celebrating the 5th anniversary of the Walk Away movement. So I had a bunch of speakers there. Laura Trump was there. Rudy Giuliani was there. And then to close out the weekend, he had a roast of himself. So it was me, Josh Denny, Alex Stein, Shamika Michelle, David Harris Jr. It was really fun.
No, it's great.
Yeah. And there was a guy, I'm not real familiar with him. His name is Mikey Harlow. He's a influencer that's part of Brandon's Walk Away movement. He was hilarious. Just really funny set. Yeah, it was a good time.
Oh, cool.
So what kind of turkey did they roast? Was it good?
It was delicious.
Wish I had some.
It was some Strock turkey.
Ugh.
The Thanksgiving episode is
It's gross.
next week.
Oh, sorry.
So
Well, it also made me know when I was watching the
we'll
roast,
record
and
it next week.
Oh, okay.
It let me know how much you're holding back.
Give you a real-
It could be a lot. I generally work pretty clean, but it could be a lot worse.
Oh,
I
it could
I can
be.
do that when
Well, you
it's
probably
called
adapt
for.
to the format.
Well, I always said, just not to get too technical, like comedy inside stuff, but I always tell beginning comics, start out working clean. Because even if you want to eventually be a dirty comic, you will learn how to write jokes better working clean. It's much easier to go from a clean comic to, if this event is, for some reason, calls for that kind of humor, you can write that way, than it is if you're someone who relies on dirty humor as a crutch. It's very hard to write clean stuff.
Yeah, I think
from
Jerry
that.
Seinfeld always referred to dirty comedy as kind of a crutch.
Yeah.
just throwing in curse words as a punchline is lazy. But.
I agree, but there's also times where an F word would be perfect in a Babylon Bee headline.
Yeah. There are those rare occasions.
And I can't use it.
There are those rare occasions where it's like the curse word is the perfect word.
There are a couple of cuss words that there aren't a good replacement for.
Yes, that's what's hard. Every now and then, I usually know what the sort of clean
there's a clean
alternate
version
for the
that works,
for the word is, but there are a few where it's just it doesn't translate right.
Yeah.
Yeah, which ones are those?
But what are some of the favorite sketches that we've been putting out lately?
Oh, I was going to tell him about my weekend, but did you have anything interesting about your weekend?
I
can move on if you want.
One interesting thing was that because it was Veterans Day this week.
If the host moves
last
the
week.
conversation, when we don't
Yes,
just
never mind. That's cool.
on it.
Well, hold on a minute.
We are
Hold
necessary.
on, host. Well, this weekend for Veterans Day, I can't tell if it's like sort of insensitive, but I tend to like watching war movies on Veterans Day. I'm like, it's Veterans Day, time for a war movie.
For my entertainment,
Yeah.
fight people.
That's the
fight.
part where I'm like,
blood.
I don't know how I feel about this. Oh well.
Yeah, they did a Band of Brothers marathon on like AMC or something. And I was like,
Yeah, that would have been
That
good.
may be the best one.
So I watched K-19, The Widowmaker,
I haven't watched that in forever.
which
to
is
honor our American veterans.
that's the joke. I watched it and I'm like halfway through and I'm like, wait a minute, it's Veterans Day and this is about a Russian submarine. It felt a little weird. It's a good movie though. I recommend it.
That's cool.
It's a little hard to watch though. You watch it once and you're like, I'm good.
A good American alternative would be U-571.
Yeah, that's a good recommendation.
Yeah, if you're more of an American person.
And if you're just a Tom Clancy person, Hunt for Red October.
Oh,
Correct.
yeah.
It's a good
I
one,
love
too.
naval movies. Battleship, starring Rihanna.
With Taylor Kitsch. Battleship was
Really
great.
honors our troops.
Yeah.
That's
Especially
what
the-
I should have been watching. is
I
Battleship.
actually enjoyed that movie because it was so obvious where they were going with it. Because at the beginning, they had the old man veteran people, that's what they call them, over by the old World War II battleship, like honoring these last surviving World War II veterans by the battleship. And then they have all the new technology fighting the aliens. And of course, it's like Chekhov's gun. It's Chekhov's old man battleship. The aliens disable all the modern technology. So the only ship available in the fleet is the old World War II ship. And who's the
Amazing.
only people who can pilot it?
The old World War
Which is
II
what you do to a
veterans.
ship. The old man world. And they have to fight the aliens in an old...
So I didn't see
They
that
had giant
movie.
pegs flying from the sky like
With
they do in the-
AC/DC in
Oh,
the
that's right, they
background, by the way. They played Thunderstruck.
Oh, really?
Which was, anytime they used
And I
Thunderstruck
just said,
in the
yes, I
movie.
really appreciate this movie because it's bad, but
Yeah.
They leaned into it.
yeah, they leaned into
Yeah,
So
Jeff Goldblum, Randy Quaid flying into the ship with
So I didn't see Battleship, but was there a line where someone says, "You sunk my battleship"?
I believe there was.
There was actually, yeah.
Was it Liam Neeson saying it?
Sure.
Well, I just
Was
know
he in the movie? I don't remember.
He wasn't.
I haven't seen it. But
I
yeah,
haven't seen it in 10 years or
No,
whatever. it came
Taylor
out.
Kitsch was the most famous person in the movie.
Is
I don't
there
even know who that
anything
is.
where-
Rihanna was.
Neeson's
Rihanna is more important than.
Well, Taylor was the guy from
Important popular.
Friday Night Lights that he played David Koresh.
that guy.
Yeah, so he's,
I don't know any of those.
He's very good. Anyway,
Is there any scene in Battleship where the enemy lies about you hitting one of their boats? That hit. No, it didn't. There's nothing there.
that's funny. Well, this weekend we watched Back to the Future with my kids, and I really wanted to say this because we got to go Back to the Future the night before. Watched on VidAngel. By the way, tried to watch Back to the Future 2 with my kids. Not recommend. I mean, it's dirty.
Is it?
Yeah, it's a dirty.
When he's like confiscates like adult literature.
Yeah.
And but it's before Playboy existed, so it's called. I don't know what to call it. A dirty magazine.
He goes to
And
an
it's
adult
called Ooh La
literature
La.
store.
No,
I
he is innocent of
majored in
evil.
adult literature.
Innocent of evil.
know. I'm sure that
Adultery
VidAngel
limit.
covers it, but
Yes,
it
I'm
is
looking
kind of
for
one of my favorite
Dostoevsky
lines
and a
because Michael J.
Playboy,
Fox goes,
please.
"Ooh la la,
Adult
ooh
literature.
la la." We're just having a side conversation here. But I just wanted to point.
So
that
we
out.
watched the Back to the Future with my kids. Great movie. My kids loved it. It was.
I'd like
honestly,
a copy of War and Peace, if you know what I mean.
Wait a minute. We drove down to the Peterson Museum and saw the actual DeLorean that they did all three movies in.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so we took some pictures, and the flux capacitor still works. It's really cool.
Where's the Peterson Museum?
Still works.
What do you mean it still works?
Well, it's there glowing. I mean, it's like it's like
still lights up.
Yeah, it still lights up.
It
And
still,
still goes back in
travel.
time.
Still can time. And the '89 Batmobile was there. Kit was there. The Bat Cycle from Adam West Batman was there. Herbie was there. it was pretty amazing actually. It was worth the drive. And I saw a Cybertruck, and I realized if I ever have a dream car, I want a
I've been debating whether I want. I mean, they're expensive. I don't know that I'll get
They're
one.
like $60,000,
They're
right?
insane, yeah. But
yeah, I would do it if I had the money.
not crazy for a truck.
They're kind of weird looking, but I also kind of like them. I'm
rad,
debating
dude.
whether I want one. Yeah,
Wait, are they
very cool.
$60,000?
I feel
Yes.
like they have to be more.
They
than
were
that.
40.
Maybe that's the base price.
Like a few years ago, they were 40.
Oh, really?
When you were like signing up for them, and now they've gone up to
I
like
don't
60,
feel like
for the
60 is
base.
that much
60
for
is
a
not a lot
Cybertruck,
for a
yeah.
truck.
Well, I would sell my Silverado for a Cybertruck for sure. Like that's really cool. Yeah.
I don't know if we're allowed to say this because Elon Musk is a friend of the bee, but I think the Cybertruck is the ugliest car.
Yeah. I know. I kind of like that about it.
Then that's your prerogative.
It's like getting a pug or something like that, you know?
It is like getting a pug.
Yeah.
Pugs
Oh
are-
shoot, we're kicked off of Twitter again.
I mean, what I meant to
Like my
say was
Cybertruck.
it's ugly, as in like it's so good.
I would like to bleep everything Travis is saying and dub it with the most amazing vehicle of all time. Please.
They kind of look like the DeLorean, though. That's the crazy part. Like it's the brushed steel. And,
Do the doors go up like the DeLorean?
no.
No.
But you can hit them with a sledgehammer and they don't dent.
But the other SUV, what is it? The T series. The Tesla does have one.
Yeah,
where
they
the
do
doors
have one
go
with
up,
the
Me
yeah.
too. It's very cool.
It doesn't have a flux capacitor.
And I'm not knocking you for wanting it. I just think it's so all these sharp angles. I'm like, he just saw a cheese grater and he's like, that's a car.
That's it.
I think he watched that video, Money for Nothing and Your Chicks for Free.
Oh yeah.
And then he thought, nah, I'm going to make a car that looks like this video.
Did he watch it on VidAngel? Do you think?
Probably. I mean, I don't know. To ask him.
I like the promotionals for that where they're like shooting the Cybertruck with machine guns and stuff. I'm like, that's cool if ever
Yeah.
wanted to shoot
It's
your
even
truck.
Mad Max car.
Yeah, it'd be a
somebody-
good Mad Max car for sure.
I just think it'd be great. I like it. I saw it going off road, so I never pictured a Cybertruck off road. So seeing the video was cool.
Nice.
That was cool. Yeah.
Well, what sketches have we been putting out lately? We have a couple of fun ones coming up. Actually, when does this come out? This week?
Yeah. So Price is Rising
Price is
will just
Rising.
come out. Hopefully.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
if
it comes
you-
out this week.
Hopefully we'll see.
I think it does. Yeah, I think it comes out like tomorrow or something. So
Sweet.
if you went to Be Live, we did a sketch called Price is Rising that Adam wrote with Biden hosting The Price is Right. Really funny. And the crowd loved it. It was really fun. That was the first time we did a live sketch.
And we had Austin play
Yeah, he was great.
Biden live, and then we found a great actor to play Biden
Yeah.
in this one. And
Tom
yeah,
Ratchford.
So we
said, "Hey,
we
you're
did
old."
An actual recorded version of it.
You can do it.
Well, you know,
Biden?
Tom is not as old as Biden, but he plays him really well.
plays
He
him
plays
well,
an old
yes.
man really
Yeah.
well. He was in our Aging
That
America
brings
sketch.
us to our other sketch, which was
That was
the,
another.
Oh
great
yeah, that one
recent
just came
one,
out. Yeah. So Tom was in both of those.
Yeah.
Also produced Thief in the Night way back in the day.
He's our new star.
Oh, he's that guy. Yeah, that
Yeah.
produced. And did he produce the one that I love? The
He
Home.
yes.
What's it called?
Home Safe.
Home Safe. Yeah.
He produced that too.
If you ever get a chance to watch the Christian movie Home Safe on YouTube, do that.
You won't regret it.
There's a scene at the end, and I'm going to spoil it for you, where a kid runs through a sliding glass window and dies. And the lesson is listen to your parents when they tell you not to run in the house.
It's a valuable lesson.
And it just comes
And there's
abruptly.
really no other way to communicate that lesson.
There's not.
There's
Not in such a powerful way.
except through.
And then
song.
they have a song, a sad, slow 80s ballad that plays that describes everything that just happened. His head went through the glass.
Yeah.
It's
His tiny baseball glove.
it's such a.
The blood was everywhere.
Blood was everywhere.
It's literally that. So
Can we roll a clip of that?
roll
Show off.
Hey,
we,
when
had,
does
we had a lot of other good sketches lately. Too.
we've been
We've,
filming? So I feel like there's a bunch we filmed we haven't done. But the
Adam
the-
wrote one that was really great that you haven't seen
Super
yet.
secret
is-
Western.
We've
That's
shot our
not-
first Western themed sketch, and it's
Yes.
I haven't seen the
pretty great.
footage. Is it,
It'll come
are we
out
waiting
soon.
for like a sponsor or something?
So
think
Adam,
so, yeah.
we are, but
okay.
but Brandon has been working on it, slaving away at least 5 minutes a day since we shot. Is what he's been telling us.
It's gonna be. It'll be fun. Yeah.
I'm very excited. And if you get a chance to watch our sketch about board games, we did one for 7 ways to
yes.
host a mostly peaceful board game night.
Oh, that
And
one's out.
Travis is great in that one.
Travis is playing an obnoxious jerk at a board game night.
which is not usual for me.
and so we set up
Very
a
out of character.
we set up a shot where he bashes a piece with a mallet. And we just said, just slam it and bash it a couple times until it breaks. And he starts hitting it, and the figure slowly starts sinking into the table.
It was like this weird cartoon character. Like
just every time he pounded it, it was
Ruined
like
the
ding,
table.
ding, ding. So permanently, our coffee table out there now has a little Space Marine
Yeah.
xenomorph.
Embedded in it. Yeah.
It looks like it was eaten by the table.
Just-
Yeah, I felt really bad at first when that was happening, but I didn't want to just like ruin the take.
You're like, just keep going.
So I just
keep
kept going. But that's why I kind of cleared like, what if it breaks? And like it's fine if it does.
Yeah.
But I think at first you said, it won't break. And then when it did, I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Because we used a rubber mallet. I didn't think it.
Well, it lets you know that it's made of
China.
cardboard. It's made of China.
I didn't mean made of China. I meant
It's made in China.
Yes.
Out of a sheet of paper.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
like
really
the-
quality work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sad. What else we have? We have some other sketches coming up. We shot one yesterday that's gonna throw the Planned Parenthood folks under the bus again
Yeah.
with
Don't
Robia
say
Scott.
throw under the bus.
Travis out.
PTSD.
Sorry.
Throw it under the generic, regular sized vehicle.
We do have Robia Scott in that one.
Cybertruck.
Cybertruck.
Oh man.
And of course,
doesn't bother me at
we've
all.
been working on our top secret Babylon B project. Can't tell you too much yet, but stay tuned.
Oh, what is the
That's something
project?
to- I just said I can't say, dude.
Okay.
The untitled Babylon B secret project.
The untitled Babylon B secret project.
We should just name it that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
and
that's how it should.
mysterious.
The title card and everything.
Yeah.
I'd be down.
Untitled. Well, that's what they do though. A lot of times in these, like I'm working on a movie
What is it?
voiceover that is for a big movie that they're making, but
What's the movie called?
well, it's called. So it's one of the IPs, one of the big franchises, and they're making an animated version, and they can't tell you what it is. So that's really cool.
That is cool.
We will all sit here and marvel at that.
No.
Okay.
But if you guessed for like maybe 10 times, 10 guesses, you'd probably hit it. Yeah.
We are Indiana Jonesing
Mm-mm.
to find out.
No.
If only I could DC this.
No.
Only we could go
Deduces,
back to the
deduce it.
future
No.
6 and see.
No, think more horror. It's like more like 80s.
It's almost like
More
it
horror.
was the Friday the 13th of my heart.
This is fun.
Also, as an aside, like I've seen all the Friday the 13th movies.
Yeah.
I can't recommend them because there's like so much nudity in them.
Yeah.
But so it's kind of like this weird, sad thing where it's like, oh, I miss Sin. Where it's like, I love those movies, but I just can't bring myself to watch them anymore.
I really miss Sin.
I really missed that.
Well, I mean, deep down, it's kind of what's really happening. And it's
In
like,
your heart.
Then you feel bad about it. Like, oh. I
That's
shouldn't
weird. As you
want
mature,
Sin.
your flesh gets.
Yeah.
Your flesh still has that like, man, I'd love to sin right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But then your
weird.
spirit's like, I would really grieve if I sinned right now.
Though I've seen Stranger Things.
You guys, you'll hit it, dude. I'm telling you, 10. How many is that? 4 or 5? I'm not going to tell you if you hit it.
Well, then we might as well stop because
Yeah.
he's not gonna.
He's not going to tell
He's
us
gonna
anyway.
go. He's gonna
There's
go.
been
No,
No.
I'll give you
not
this.
that
There's been like 11 or 12 movies or something like that. So.
Land Before Time.
You're on,
That's it.
you're on a real trick.
Man, Land Before Time was always a thing where it's like, I remember seeing the original cartoon and I'm like, why do they keep making
The
these?
first one's so good. It's such a classic.
Yeah,
like,
it's good.
But it's also
animated kids film.
kind of, it's a downer.
Yeah, it's a
It is
sad
a
movie.
Yeah. It's
kind
like
of-
Five Goes West. Real downer.
Are you guessing now? I'm guessing.
I'm guessing.
See,
like-
I would-
No, that's there were only 2 of those, right?
trying to
Were there-
hit-
It truly
I'm
is
type-
an American
there's
Tale.
sometimes I would really like to go back and watch Land Before Time, but I know that Satan put dinosaur bones in the ground to trick us, and I miss Sin. I miss watching Land Before Time.
I miss sin.
All those scenes are blocked and you watch it on
Yeah,
Vid
I
Angel.
know
I
that.
miss
I
Back
know
to the
that
Future.
dinosaurs coexisted with man 6,000 years ago, and I can't watch that blasphemous movie anymore.
You watch it on Vid Angel, there's no dinosaurs.
Man, I tried watching
Cut
Back
all
to
the
the Future
scenes
too with Vid Angel, and it did not help. That's all I'm saying. There's no categories for
We'll
the
put
sin
out
right
a
now.
list.
Yeah.
The top 8 sexiest movies on Vid Angel.
Vid Angel's a kind of an interesting concept because I think there's a value to like, oh, this movie's really great, except for just this one thing. And Vid Angel's perfect for that. But I always see like people complaining on Vid Angel's like comments sections or whatever, where they're with the trailer going like, well, why you want to accept all this sin? Why are you trying to edit sin? Just get rid of it. And I always think that's an interesting thought.
You mean they're trying to say, why not just not watch Game of Thrones?
Why not watch a good movie and not something
like,
that's...
It's usually with Game of Thrones, like, oh, good, finally I can watch Game of Thrones without all the news. Like,
that's the only reason why I got VidAngels to watch Game of Thrones.
I don't know. I'm not. I don't side with that, but it's an interesting conversation. I think.
I
It's
agree.
An interesting conversation. We should have that interesting conversation.
Another time.
Another time.
That's a really good point.
But what's going on in the news?
What's in the news this week?
But the I-10 freeway in Los Angeles... Dude, who wrote these notes? They put a cuss word in the
Someone
notes.
put an F word in there. It's
Babylon
bleeped
B
with-
is going woke.
Yeah, but
The I-10 freeway in Los Angeles is F @ sign and sign open parentheses sign ED.
completely
And
shut
the ED is
down.
falling off the end.
And the ED goes, it's completely shut down after a fire. Gavin Newsom claims the fire was started by arson in a storage yard leased by Caltrans to a company called Apex Development. It then spread to an area under the freeway where there was homeless encampments and stacks of pallets. Newsom said after initially inspections that the elevated freeway does not need to be completely demolished and can be repaired in 3 to 5 weeks.
According to his
That's
his expert
insane.
opinion.
That's insane.
to close that freeway for people who don't live in LA,
that
the
is the
10 is
freeway.
a major artery through downtown LA going east-west. Like the 405 runs north-south and the 5, but the 10 is, you can't block that without disrupting already terrible traffic in LA.
We were on the road that day going to see the DeLorean. And we didn't realize that everything was so crazy. So we were just trying to get around. It took us forever to get
You
down
could have
there.
gone back in time to before the fire
I
happened.
wish.
Yeah.
But we went through downtown LA and Chinatown and everywhere to get down there.
And it's
So
a
it
little
was
unclear
crazy.
whether this was started at
Yeah.
the homeless camp
Yeah,
or
or
by
like-
the homeless camp. There's a pallet storage yard there, I guess, and that's what burned. But
Certainly
they're
having
kind
a
of-
bunch of unregulated tents and stuff around doesn't help either.
I forget what the statistic is. I don't want to misquote it, but there's a staggering number of fires in and around
homeless.
LA that start by the homeless. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't got anything else to do.
Yeah.
Don't got a yard to mow. Might as well start.
Might as well start a fire.
Yeah.
Also, the Israel defense minister says Hamas has lost control of northern Gaza. The U.S. Department of Defense backs up Israel's account of how Hamas has terrorist operations in networks of tunnels underneath hospitals.
Yeah, this
That's
is
what
a-
they've been trying to. I guess they launched that assault today, where they're trying to eradicate Hamas from their base under this hospital, which is just terrible.
Yeah, thinking of them having to go through all those tunnels, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's not going to be a pleasant experience.
Yeah.
Weeding them out one by one. That's crazy.
That is terrible.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to fill all those tunnels in or
Well, if you have gophers, wouldn't you just flood them?
I don't know if you can do that.
I don't know.
I don't know
So
what
it's
the
like-
logistics. I don't know what the logistics.
Put some water
are,
down
but
there. I don't know. It seems like a
Might
good
take
idea.
a lot of water.
Yeah.
Just, the Mediterranean Sea. Just open it
Oh,
up.
salt water.
Yeah, why not?
And
Actually, what they should do is stand at each hole,
Yeah.
and then when they
With a
pop-
hammer?
the big mallet.
With a
pop
mallet.
up, just
And John Fetterman, a guy
Anyway.
that we've taken shots at on the B before. He's not our favorite guy politically, but he's taken some bold stands for Israel lately. Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman, a Democrat, has angered many on the left after he waved an Israeli flag by anti-Israel protesters who were being arrested at the U.S. Capitol. So
Yeah. So
Dang.
he's been taking some good stance on
yeah,
this issue.
some things I do like about John Fetterman are he at least stands by his convictions. So he's like, I support Israel. I don't care what you guys are saying.
I stand by Israel. I'm going to
great-
keep dressing in a hoodie.
Yeah,
These
I
are
was
my
gonna say,
values.
That's a
I
weird thing.
appreciate
he
his
keeps
hoodies.
wearing his "I Love Jews" hoodie in support. And
I
yeah,
want that
he
hoodie.
wore a cape of the Israel flag and walked around by the
Wow.
protesters and stuff. And
Dude.
he's just
okay.
walking around. Do 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 do. do.
Who's going to attack him? He's a really big dude.
Yeah, I don't think he would. I don't
Well, if
think
you
he-
had 5 smooth stones, you could probably attack him.
yeah, and you'd only need one, but you'd bring 5.
He does look like you imagine Goliath would look, guys. It's true.
I heard a sermon on David and Goliath one time where the guy used the whole sermon to say that we are the stones,
Huh.
Being hurled through the air.
just like David picked the stones.
God picks us.
God looked for the smooth stone.
I mean, I guess there's an analogy there you can make, but
I don't think it makes
I
sense.
just wouldn't
see,
have
yeah.
used it with that story.
I think it's a bad sermon.
Yeah,
With
that
apologies
happens.
to the.
We were
I didn't
kind
hear
of,
it,
we were talking
so-
about
Have
that
we
this
ever
week.
done? Have we ever done an episode about bad sermon analogies?
Yeah, it's a good idea.
No, I think that would be fun.
That would be
We
fun.
might have like mentioned it, but I don't know that we've ever
I
done
know
a
we've
full
done like
topic on
I
it.
know we've done like weird viral videos
Yeah,
of specifically bad or funny sermons, but
Worst
we should
sermon
look up like
analogies.
worst sermon analogies.
Write it down, guys. That's the next podcast.
Worst sermon analogies. That's a great one. There's been some bad ones. We were talking about it this week
We
a
can
little
talk
bit.
about ones we've heard, and we
We
can
should
go
look
find
up
ones.
look up some
Yeah.
real ones.
Yeah.
I like it.
like taking the Bible out of context, one verse that just like
It's
not
just
really
parallels
hard.
that don't really work when you think about it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, this is
Like
an-
I remember, well,
ahead.
I could save it. There's a quick one. I remember when I was growing. I had a pastor I loved. He was a great pastor, but I remember one time he was talking about taking a leap of faith, and he compared it to like a kid running out into traffic, and it was like you don't. But then the point of the story was eventually like sometimes you just have to run out into traffic. I was like that's not a like I get the analogy, but that's not what you should
It
be
seems.
teaching kids.
Are you okay, Travis? Are you okay?
I'm fine.
Okay. I just want to check.
I know that we can't,
I didn't run out into traffic.
we shouldn't use all of our stuff here for this topic, but I did hear one once in college. A guest preacher came to chapel, and he did this whole thing about like just dive in, and it was like that.
Yeah.
And he was like, sometimes when you're fixing a car, you just got to start unplugging stuff and just jump in there and start diving. And he was making some point about faith, and then the next chapel they had a guy come up and like retract his sermon. And they said, just so you know, like if you do dive into an engine, there's a radiator fan that could. And they like counter analogied his analogy with another analogy.
Amazing.
Sometimes when your toaster's not working, you just have to grab a fork and fix it.
That's faith.
It's good.
All right, we're going to save the rest. All right, well, one news item that's not on here, but we should talk about is President Xi is visiting.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he's
hanging out with
in
his
America
buddies
right
Biden
now.
and Newsom.
And he's in California, and there was all this controversy because Gavin Newsom ordered San Francisco clean up the homeless, get rid of the poo.
It's great. It's great.
My
It's like
boss
at the
is coming.
Oscars, whenever they can't solve this homeless crisis except when it's
Except
a
that
PR
one
issue,
time,
then it's
yeah.
like, oh, let's sweep it all under
And
the
then they
rug.
questioned him about it on TV, and he was like, yes, that's why we did that.
Yeah.
He goes, if you have a guest coming over to your house, you clean up your house.
Yeah.
I'm like, this makes sense in his head.
In
Like,
his head, yeah, it's
under
perfect.
all that.
why is your house so dirty all the time? Like,
So on one hand, I appreciate his honesty.
yeah, he's just
because
like,
he's
yeah,
like, yeah,
President Xi's
That's
coming
what
to
we
town.
did.
We got to clean up the.
Newsom is a savvy politician.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't like his policies, but he's a savvy.
He's got a
politician.
team around him for sure.
yeah.
Great hair.
A lot of people working on that hair.
Seems
The
like
whole
it.
team, yeah.
Seems like.
The whole team.
Yeah.
I'm putting together a team.
It's the long team.
So welcome, President Xi, and
Yeah.
we hope you feel at home here. I'm sure he does feel at home here.
Yeah, and I was
Well, if it's
researching it a little bit, and apparently he was in America 6 years ago, and I don't even remember that.
Yeah, I'm sure they do state visits, from time to time, but I don't recall either.
Did you meet him when he was here and you just don't remember?
I don't.
I don't
I
know.
want him to knock over a kid playing basketball to get
Yes.
back at Newsom. Like it just runs out on a basketball
That's
court,
right.
pushes a kid over.
Yeah? Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Look at this.
That's awesome.
That's funny.
Imagine that you just want to express what you believe. Now, imagine having to spend more than a decade in court just to do that. That's what's still happening to Colorado cake artist Jack Phillips. He's been relentlessly harassed by the state of Colorado and an activist because of his beliefs. But our friends at Alliance Defending Freedom are standing by his side, and they need your help. Join with ADF and be a champion for freedom. ADF is on the front lines defending Americans like Jack in court, free of charge, when their First Amendment freedoms are on the line. And for just $19 a month, you can stand with people like Jack too. So visit joinadf.com/B and pledge your monthly gift of $19 or more to ADF. ADF is committed to the long game of protecting freedoms now and for generations to come, and I am too. Are you? Because it's really important. Go join adf.com/B and be a champion for freedom with your monthly gift or any amount of gift today.
You used to be good.
Adam Ford.
Adam Ford. I really miss Adam Ford.
So I don't know how hate mail-y this is, but Not the Bee, our sister site, was flagged on YouTube for being a violent criminal organization.
So it's hate mail from YouTube, I guess.
Yeah.
We know you may not have realized this was a violation of policies. We did not apply a strike to your channel, but we removed your content from YouTube. And so I guess not to be put out a video called "If the leaked Nashville shooter manifesto is legit, what does it say about censorship in the U.S.?"
So because of that, they decided that
We're violent.
we're a violent organization. That's literally what it says, a violent organization.
Violent criminal organization. So
Like the mob.
Not surprised.
That's what that makes me think
that
of.
sounds pretty cool, actually.
But now
I wish we were that
whenever a news site reveals a right-wing shooter's manifesto, I don't think YouTube
they're not a
claims
violent-
that they're supporting a violent criminal network.
No.
Organization. All right. Now here's a tweet from the lectern guy. This is the guy that moved the lectern around in the Capitol on January 6th.
The man himself.
He's really owned up to that.
That's actually his.
Yeah.
That's the real guy.
Yes, that's him.
He's named
Oh my
himself
gosh.
the lectern guy.
Wow.
And so
Lectern leader.
He shared a page from our Babylon Bee Guide to Democracy, and this is part of a list we did of the most horrifying criminals from January 6th, and we include him on our list satirically of the most.
It says the
horrifying
deadly
criminals.
lectern thief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whole chapters in future history textbooks will be written about this guy who literally walked into the building and walked out with a piece of wood. We're talking John Wilkes Booth levels of impact on our country. Now, I think what he's disputing, though, is he's saying he didn't leave the building.
Or he doesn't like being called a thief. He responded, "If anyone appreciates humor, it's me. But at the Babylon Bee and at Seth Dillon should really stop calling me a thief and lying about me taking the lectern out of the building. You guys are too creative to use false narratives. Do better."
So
But I feel
can't
like
tell.
the whole thing is satirically exaggerating what he did.
Yeah, that he's a thief. That's a
Yeah.
joke.
So
Yeah, the whole thing is that it's a joke.
Yeah.
Is he also being satirical and just not landing it?
No, I think he's
No.
mad. He's
Seems
just they're profiting
serious.
off. Well, he's being reasonable. He's not like blasting us. He's saying, "Oh, I wish they wouldn't have done this." And he says they're profiting off of calling me a thief. We're supposed to be on the same side.
How much did you guys make on it? How are you
We
profiting?
really got rich off of that one page
I
in
want to be
one
Guide to
book.
Democracy. That one didn't even sell well.
Well, he's
I don't think we profited all that much, buddy.
But yeah, he.
I like that
But
he's-
no, but I also I understand what he's saying, and I like what. No, obviously it's a joke around a thief. But if we did get the fact wrong, because we say he walked out of the building with a piece of wood, then I apologize for that, because that is obviously part of the joke. But it's not. We don't want to get a fact wrong like that. And I
Where
didn't.
did he-
I didn't. If he just moved, because apparently he says he just moved it 12 feet down the road.
Oh,
But I
don't know. I don't know the whole story.
I had read news stories that said the opposite, so I don't know. I'll have to look into it.
Where did he set it down? Like 12 feet away? Is that what he's
That's what he
saying?
says.
12 feet away in his own home.
It's 12 feet away
lives-
outside the building.
He
12
lives
feet
right
from
next
the
door.
building.
He lives next door to the guy.
I just walked it right across the street.
All right, here's some hate mail on a Babylon Bee headline. Starbucks workers to begin placing yellow star sticker on Jewish customers'
Yes.
cups. This is in response to the Starbucks union, which released a statement in support of Palestine or Hamas or whatever. And I really enjoyed this hate mail.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, this is from John. Does someone else want to read it? This is from
Yeah,
John.
I'm
Flores.
giving you guys an hour. Take it down.
Wow.
It is 4:30 CST here in Dallas. I will report this as hate speech at 5:30 CST. No threats. It's a promise to my Jewish friends and neighbors.
It's still a threat.
And then Joshua interjects, John Flores, Starbucks Employees Union, is openly supporting Hamas.
Confirmed. There are other ways of joking about that than what the Babylon Bee did here. They could post pictures of the Hamas leader and even have a new coffee drink named after him. Separate Hamas from the people of Palestine. Humor is always a bit risky.
I don't.
That was an interesting. That was
So
an
he just
interesting
wanted
answer.
a different joke about
Yeah, here's
it.
a good
I
pitch.
like that he
Here's a
worked
good
his
pitch.
complaint into a headline pitch.
Here's what you should have done.
There's
Actually,
this
wait.
inappropriate. Here's my idea.
And
I'm
it's
not sure
way
what
better.
his complaint is, honestly.
And then also to
Yeah.
say humor is always a bit risky when he's the one getting offended
Getting
by
offended.
a headline.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
like
don't
that
understand
someone
the-
laughed at it with the laughing emoji.
I
just
know
got
people are
laughed
like,
at.
"Oh, that's
Most
great.
derisive thing you
It's
can
really
do.
funny." Yeah, that's funny. And the idea of us putting gold, stars of David on coffee cups.
Here's
Here's
another.
some hate mail
pretty
from
funny.
a general contact form. Sorry, that was my joke. You can read it.
No, you can go for it.
Okay. Actually, from someone named David Donaldson. Reason, general.
Oh, gee.
Message. I'm contacting on behalf of Lakewood Church and Joel Osteen Ministries. We kindly ask you stop defaming the ministry and pastor. Blessings, David.
And he has a Lakewood admin
That's like his email
address. I think.
I've had a couple of people from Lakewood Church reach out since the Bees early days. Like once in a while, they'll just email and say, Pastor Joel's just trying to be positive. Don't attack him. And,
he really does seem like he's just profiting from this stuff. Yeah. Like there are some of those like mega church pastors and Christian persons that I'm like, well, I disagree with them, but I think their heart's in the right place. Right. But, I'm sure there's some people that get some good, I guess, out of what he said, but he really does just seem like a prophet.
He seems pretty, pretty shallow, I'm sorry I shouldn't say that, but he's probably, just pretty much like a nice guy, but he's definitely making a heck of a lot of money, and that's a real issue.
And that seems like the goal of it is money.
Yeah, I mean,
who else was
that he stuffs in the wall behind the toilet.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Did they ever find out what?
No.
$600,000
I'm glad this email has led us to defame his ministry even more.
But it is nice. They've been very kind, though. The Lakewood folks have been very nice in their reaching.
Even as far as hate mail goes, that's at least they're
pretty good.
being very polite.
He's had blessings.
I appreciate that.
I appreciate the blessings.
Well, he's like, I'm kindly asking, please stop defaming. It's like, all right.
We're kindly declining blessings.
But also, we're not really defaming.
He's not
doing that to
defaming.
himself.
Yeah, it's like the old Radiohead song.
Oh, here's one for Jarret. Hate mail. Should Jarret read this, or should one of us read it?
Yeah, you guys can.
This is from Joshua Wooden 4727. He says, don't turn into a Calvinist. We should not deny free will because free will is a gift from God. I know if a Calvinist is reading this, I don't believe our free will is at work. And when we choose Jesus, we don't get credit for the choice or credit for any work we do for God's kingdom. But saying people don't have free will is saying that God does not give us something he really does give us with him being rich in grace and mercy. Also, it's not your destiny to be a Calvinist.
Agreed. Good one, Joshua.
Well done.
Agree.
I appreciate that, Joshua, and I am still in the process of figuring this out.
Did you say on a podcast that you
I said
thinking about?
He said he's becoming more and more Calvinist.
Well,
right?
I've been reading all these expositional commentaries by R.C. Sproul. I'm on my third one, and they're really good. And really, the whole idea of free will, it's not that you don't have choice. You do, like it's just there's your choice is tainted by sin. Like if you're apart from Christ, it's not like you're making choices in a vacuum.
How do you
can
feel?
only choose one thing.
How do you feel about when we choose Jesus, we don't get credit for the choice or credit for any work?
So
because I kind of agree with that.
Right.
It's a lot to discuss, but I do agree with that line to some degree.
Yeah. So choosing Jesus and we don't get credit for the choice.
I think it is an
interesting way to put
free
it.
will, but it's not. I don't think it's a work.
Huh. I don't know because the works of God.
Yeah,
the
Jarret.
character of God.
I'm just curious what he thinks.
No, I mean
I appreciate that your candor with it. I don't know is a good answer sometimes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think people are so intent on having an answer for everything that they'll accidentally just.
This is it's a
heresy.
Non-essential. Like you think about it in terms of salvation, and I don't know if Dan would agree with me, but
See,
I think
that
it's
makes you not a Calvinist right there. 'Cause
Right.
you think it's not essential to.
You're not really mad about
to
it.
decide about it. Yeah.
I'm not super pissed. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, and
So are you becoming more Calvinist after this comment or less?
I would say I'm right smack dab in the middle of where I was before.
Right where he was.
So this didn't change your mind at all?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not even sure R.C. Sproul is changing my mind. I think he's maybe clarifying what I believe.
R.C. Sproul is really good. I do like his stuff. Yeah.
He's a great philosopher.
I get Sproul mixed up with Spurgeon.
Spurgeon
because
and
they
Sproul.
both start with an S.
SP.
That's literally it.
Sproul and Spurgeon.
So because one of them's Baptist, right? Is that Spurgeon?
Is
Spurgeon
the
would
bad.
be Baptist.
He was the good one.
Okay, so you. Okay, so
don't
you
like
were talking
Sproul?
about Sproul. I'm
No, I like Sproul. I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
I was gonna say-
He was the
I
Baptist.
thought
Spurgeon
he was
the
Baptist. Why are we talking about Sproul? So I'm just explaining why I was confused. That's all.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever seen Sproul's "What's Wrong with You People" clip?
No.
Yes.
I
Oh,
gotta
that's-
see that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
They're doing a Q&A or something, and somebody's like, "Why are things so evil?" or like something like that, and he's like, "What's wrong with you people?"
It's so good.
What's wrong with you people? I'm serious.
And he's like dead serious.
I'll support him on that. It's great.
How many times have you wanted to say that though? I feel like that is.
Yeah.
I want to
just
say
letting it
that
loose.
when I look in the mirror. It's just
What's wrong
that's
with
the nature of humanity,
Just
right?
point at
Oh,
yourself.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
What's
So
wrong with
great.
us?
You know, there was a running joke on the Babylon Bee for a long time after Sproul died that anytime we had a spokesperson from heaven, we didn't say it, but it was R.C. Sproul.
Oh, really?
So like when we said a spokesperson from heaven said blah, 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 And we'd always finish it with him saying, "What's wrong with you people?"
Oh, I didn't know that. That's
But
awesome.
I don't know if anybody ever picked up on it, but R.C. Sproul was the spokesperson,
That is funny.
which is probably not theologically
Did you ever reference his name as
No,
the
it was
spokes-
always
it was
just- yeah.
implied by that line.
implied by
Got
that.
it.
So that was a fun running gag.
Well, I'm definitely learning more. I've always been a C.S. Lewis guy. Like I've read almost everything by him.
He has some Calvinist like strains
Yeah.
that he never fully explores because he's Anglican and he talks a
Yeah.
lot about free will. But when you like his autobiography, he talks about God was hunting me. You know, I was the deer, he was the hunter. You know, he has a lot of things like
Right.
even in his
Surprised by
Narnia
joy.
books and Narnia books. There's a lot of that too.
Yeah, Aslan is always pursuing.
Yeah,
the
Aslan's
kids.
the pursuer, and
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
Also,
that
he's a lion.
it seems.
that's a
Seems
good
like
point, Travis.
it seems like even
lion.
even
The lion was Jesus.
the big
What?
the biggest Arminians don't even say that God doesn't pursue people. I think they say that too.
Sure, but there's an emphasis. You know, there's an emphasis thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is, and I don't know. It's hard to know. Like,
Yeah.
it seems like a really complicated question.
Dan closed the notes because we're drifting away from Calvin.
Oh, you know, I'll open them back up if you go back to Calvin. I might have told the story before, but I read my boys all 7 Narnia books. I got to the very end,
Yeah.
and I was crying at the end of the last battle.
Yeah,
And my son goes, and we close it. My middle son, he was like 8 at the time. He's like, "Was C.S. Lewis a Christian?" like
You just now
And I'm like-
made this connection?
we've been reading the books and
Yeah.
discussing them, and he's like, "Did he believe in God?"
That's interesting.
he picked it up.
No, it's just that he didn't pick it up for so
Until
long.
then.
Well,
And I'm
it's-
like, literally, the lion is Jesus.
Yeah, well, because I like C.S. Lewis, but it's the really heavy-handed
He's hitting you on the head with the
It's
hammer
like,
the whole time.
Get it? The Jesus.
Eh?
Or the Jesus is the lion.
The
lion
Jesus.
is Jesus. Get it?
Eh?
Jesus,
Yeah.
The eye switch is
it's
Satan.
the devil.
Yeah, I think it was at the end of Voyage of the Dawn Treader or something, where Aslan's like, by the way, when you go back to your world, I have another name
I have another
there.
name.
Oh.
Yeah,
Maybe
Not
you can
gonna tell
figure it
what
out.
is.
that's right. Yeah, Aslan does say that. He's like,
Literally, I'm Jesus.
I have the name over there. That it's a different name. I'm in a different form.
I'll give you the first letter. And you fill in the rest.
I was throwing around this idea that I don't really think goes anywhere, but it's like, you know, that story of
That's
like,
the best kind of idea to bring up.
of course. There's that. I think it was a short story. It was certainly a movie. My Dinner with Andre, and where he takes out his friend. His friend's kind of distant or whatever. They kind of grown apart because he's awkward or something. And I always imagined Tolkien and C.S. Lewis having dinner like that, and Tolkien's just trying to tell him, stop being so heavy-handed with your allegory.
Yeah,
You can be
that's
subtle.
actually a good idea.
Yeah, and C.S.
And
Lewis are
then
like, but
Lewis is like,
they're not
"Stop
going to
praying
get
to
it.
Yeah.
You don't understand. Readers are stupid. It's like everyone understands my allegory.
So when do
It's like,
we film?
Nobody
when do we
understands
film a
your
sketch?
allegory.
We got to have someone dressed up as C.S. Lewis and someone dressed up as Tolkien. C.S. Lewis and Tolkien discuss allegory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down.
And then G.K. Chester comes. He's just real fat.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
all the jokes about him are just
Just
Like, we didn't
super
invite
fat.
you.
We have our. Well,
What are you doing here? You're so
we
much
need a
older
Chris
than
Farley
me.
style person to come.
Oh,
in.
we got it.
Oh,
I
that's
think
a good
we know
idea.
someone.
I wasn't gonna say his name and then say,
But he's
we
not
need a really
fat.
fat guy and then say his name because I thought that would be mean.
Then
I think he's
later
He has
I'd
fat.
a
be like,
different name in
"Oh."
our world, but we all know who he.
You must seek and find him there.
See if you can guess what
His
it
name
is.
starts with a B.
Hey
No,
everybody!
that's not a bad idea.
Thanks for joining us on the Babylon Bee once in a while. We'll see you guys next time.